Hello and welcome to 5 and 5. Today we have Eddy Lim with us. Eddy is the Regional Director for Greater China and Southeast Asia at HipHopDX. Thank you for
Hi.
joining us, Eddy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So let's kick things off by spinning the spinning wheel of categories to understand what questions we're going to delve into.
Sure, let's do this.
All right. Can you see that screen?
Wow. Yeah, I do. All right. So what do I do?
Okay, can you see where it's landed?
Yeah, campaigns is where it's landed.
Campaigns. All right, so let's delve into some campaign questions.
Sure.
So, Eddy, what is the riskiest campaign you worked on?
Wow. So in 2010, when I was working with a TV station, this is like the biggest broadcaster in Malaysia, and we were working on a campaign for the FIFA World Cup. This was being held in Africa at the time.
Yep.
And we were working on it for a while, and then it was like literally the 11th hour, we got told that we didn't have the rights to air the matches, right? And we had like a huge revenue target to hit, and there was a lot of work that had been done, and yeah, and we managed to run this campaign for the FIFA World Cup without airing a single match, but we met all of our revenue targets. So that was a huge risk because we weren't sure what we had to do, right? But basically, long story short, we came up with a really cool narrative, and then we did everything surrounding football except add the matches. So it was like footballers' girlfriends, like the score updates, everything. But we didn't air a single match. But we made it seem like we were a FIFA World Cup partner. So yeah, so that was probably one of my proudest moments actually.
That's brilliant. Well, that's a real example of thinking on your feet and having a creative solution for a really serious issue, I guess, with if you've got a whole campaign around football and you can't air the matches. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, like my jaw dropped, when we found out that we weren't going to get the rights. And I'm like, well, okay, we still have to do this anyway. And yeah, we pulled it off.
Well done. Is there a campaign that comes to mind that really stands out, either being fantastic or really bad? What campaign comes to mind?
One of my favorite campaigns that I heard of in recent times was this social media campaign that was run by Volvo, and this would go hands down one of my favorite campaigns of all time. Right? So it was a Super Bowl campaign, and it was a social media campaign. So during Super Bowl, most expensive airtime in the world, and companies would spend millions to produce like amazing looking ads, and they'll spend millions more to buy the airtime, right? And a lot of car companies would come up with great ads to run during Super Bowl because that's their audience. And Volvo did something like it was a Twitter campaign where they did something like every time you see any car ad on the screen, hashtag Volvo, and you stand a chance to win a car.
Wow.
So to me, that was brilliant. Like it won like a Cannes Grand Prix, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But that was like the most amazing campaign ever. It hijacked everybody, and it made everybody, instead of thinking of the car that they were watching the ad for, they immediately thought of Volvo.
Yeah, of course. That's fantastic. It's really utilizing everyone else's marketing budgets for your own benefit. That's awesome. So, okay, question for you. What do you think is more important, strategy or creative?
They both, honestly, they both have to go hand in hand, right? Like one can't work without the other. I think what's important is that both departments have to have that mutual respect, and have to have that communication. Like I've seen strategies where they didn't involve the creatives. They just planned the strategy without involving the creative. And I've seen creative work put out without any sort of strategy at all, and both are really bad, right? So I think it's important for both to work hand in hand from the get-go. It's not like strategy works first and then creative follows, right? Like the conversation has to be had from the very beginning.
Yeah, good answer. All right, last question. What's your dream brand? Like, what brand do you think is just constantly doing fantastic campaigns, or what they stand for, you're really impressed with?
Wow, quite a few come to mind, to be honest. But I would say like Nike. Nike's been doing amazing stuff. Like I've never seen a bad Nike campaign. Like everything they do, yeah, it's gold. It's really gold. Whedon and Kennedy, I know, is responsible for a lot of the great stuff that's being put out. But yeah, I would say Nike as a brand. And personally, I'm not a huge fan of um, of of Nike shoes. Like I like the more old school kind of kicks.
Right. Okay.
But Nike as a brand is something that I would love to be involved in.
So I imagine you're going to be bringing some of that magic into HipHopDX. Yeah, we'll stay tuned.
Yeah,
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Eddie. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you. And till next time,
no problem. Thank you.
this has been 5 and 5.